Hello and welcome to the first episode of HARP tutorials. My name is Aiden and today I'll walk you through how you could set up your Haply devices, connect it to HARP and control your robot for the first time. HARP is going to be the main platform that you will use to connect your devices to a robot and start controlling it. Before we begin, let's take a look at the setup that we need for today. We have an Inverse 3 device here. We also have a VerScript stylus that we are going to connect both of them to HARP so that we can control a robot, for example, Mecha 500. You will also need the Haply Device Manager, which is a hub for all of your Haply devices, and you can download that from our website. Click Next, Next, click Finish so that you can run the device manager.
Now is the time to make sure your Inverse 3 is connected to your computer with a USB cable and that your VerScript dongle is also connected. Because if they are, when you run your device manager,
you will see both of your devices here, the Inverse 3 on the left side and also the VerScript on the right side. You could also see that your Inverse 3 is uncalibrated. So what you want to do is that you want to bring this magnet all the way to the right and connect the magnets. As soon as you connect the magnets, you will get a white LED, and also on the device manager, you will see that it says calibrated yes, which means that everything is good. You could also move it around a little bit and you will see the digital twin of the device that is showing the actual configuration of the robot. Something else that you need to do is that you need to calibrate this VerScript stylus as well. You need to place it on your table parallel to your Inverse 3 device, just like that, and hold the calibration button for 2 seconds. And you will see on the device manager that now if you do that the orientation of the stylus is exactly what you can see on the device manager. Now that we are done configuring our Haply devices, next is HARP. Once you installed HARP, you could click on it to launch that, wait for initializing, and all we need to do at this time is to activate the license. You click on settings, and here is where you would enter your license key. You just need to make sure that you have your Wi-Fi connected, because this license would require your Wi-Fi to activate. Now that HARP is activated, let's create a new project. Here you would go to Connections and create New here. You will need to create a folder here. I'm just going to create a folder and call that HARP Test and select this folder. Here you will see both of your devices. Now all we have to do is to connect to the robot. In order to do that, click on Add Connection. From the plugins, you have to click on Rust Macademic. For example, here we have Macademic 500. And you have to enter the IP of the robot. For my robot is 192.168.0.200. Just need to wait for a second. The robot will home itself. And after a few seconds, we should have robot here in the main menu. All you have to do is select all 3 devices and add them to control group. You will generate the control group here. We could also name our project as test 1 and you could click on launch. This will navigate you to the command center when you will be able to control your robot. You will see that the LED now is green, which means the device is running. And if you hold the first button, you'll be able to control the robot. So if I hold the first button and move it around, it will be only in position and velocity control. If I click the second button and now control the robot, I will be also able to control the orientation of it too. You could also increase the scaling so that you have faster motion like this, or you could decrease it and bring it down to all the way to maybe 10% so that you have very precise motion for certain applications. Now that you know how to control your robots, you don't want to be breaking things or hitting objects in your scene. HARP has a feature for that will allow you to generate virtual boundaries and also virtual objects that you could interact and actually feel using this robot. Now in this workspace configuration, you can click on your Macademic and you could set limits or boundaries around your robot. For example, here I want to define a haptic floor. I can bring this haptic floor in the Z axis. I can actually give it a value here of 10 centimeters, which is going to be 10 centimeters from the base of the robot. If I click on save, now I've generated a haptic floor. If you can see it here, there's a haptic floor here that I can interact with. If I go back to Command Center, now that I move the robot, I can actually feel that there's a surface here and I won't be able to penetrate through that surface. You can also define haptic objects. Let me just move this down again. And if you click on the bottom left side, if you click on this, you could have defined these kind of objects. So we could save this and go back to the Command Center. I can feel the object. You could imagine a virtual kind of box here that I can interact with it. I could hit it from the left side and feel that. I could hit it from the front side and also from the top side and on the right side of it. And that's it. You have successfully downloaded the device manager, installed HARP, activated your license, and started teleoperating for your first time. Now you're ready to dive deeper into advanced HARP features and real-world teleoperation.